Hey, it's Suzanne Titkemeyer coming to you live from Costa Rica to talk about Turkey Day, Thanksgiving. So, what's everybody's plans this year for Thanksgiving? I'm really interested because there's so many people suffering from COVID around the world, and so many different governments are insisting we not gather. This is going to be a tough one, I think, for everybody because it's only natural to want to gather at Thanksgiving. I used to, for many years, go to Thanksgiving at my oldest daughter's house and hang out with her family. And we used to call Thanksgiving Feed a Jew a Ham Day because her husband and his entire family were Jewish. And the only time you would ever see them eat pork products was at Thanksgiving in her house. They ate pork products with relish because they weren't having to do the kosher thing at their house. So that was always our sarcastic name for it, Feed a Jew a Ham Day. And since we have so much Native American blood, we were never really super into the whole Thanksgiving thing anyway. But from my childhood in Louisiana, Thanksgiving always involved crazy stupidity. Drunk people, all the adults being drunk would be a given. There would be all kinds of things that would go down. Usually, there would be a throwdown of ancient grievances. There would be all kinds of crazy things that would happen, including the time that my own mother ate a box of milk bones. She thought it was some kind of crackers, I think, but she'd also had drinks. So we don't reproduce that in this house. And being here in Costa Rica, it's going to be interesting because just like in the States, we have high rates of COVID going on. The local government has ordered everybody to stay home and behave. Hey, happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday before Thanksgiving. So they're wanting us not to gather. Last year, I didn't cook, which is rare. I did Thanksgiving at the Langosta Beach Surf Yacht Club, and it was very nice. I enjoyed it. It was one of the few times I did not cook. This year, it's not going to be like that. Now, Langosta Club has sent around messages that they're doing Thanksgiving along with, I can't even think what they call it now. There's a restaurant we eat at every now and then. It used to be called the Great Waltini's at the Bula Bula Hotel. They're doing a big spread, but they've rebranded as a hotel that is Grateful Dead themed. So I am not sure. Um, yeah, the milk bones was my mother drinking and thinking crackers in the jar were people crackers. And true story. I still tease my mother about it. Hey, do you remember the time you ate dog biscuits at Thanksgiving? She gets kind of mad. Um, Good food, good clean. Yeah, good food, the beach. So I don't know that I'm going to go to any of those. And even though I got to say, I'm tempted to go and see what Bula Bula has rebranded themselves as the Grateful Dead Hotel, because that's bound to be kind of interesting. I'll have to do a run through there, take pictures, and give you guys an idea what it's like now. The Langosta Surf Club has really good food, um, too. So there's a lot of options, but I'm staying home and I'm cooking because I don't believe in exposing anybody or anything else to COVID. Well, I want to talk about what it's like to have to cook for Thanksgiving here in Costa Rica because that was one of the things I was worried about. That was one of the things that I was the most worried about was I'm going to have to just give up everything in my life that I love because I'm in a different culture. Not quite. In Costa Rica, you can get butterballs. Butterball turkeys are easily obtainable at the Auto Mercado, at Walmart, Maxapali, um, even sometimes at the Mega Super. Most of the grocery stores here do carry some American products. Now you're going to pay. It's a little more to get American products here. Yesterday, I went into the Auto Mercado, who've done their every year, what I always call their every year gringo price gouging. Every year, right before Thanksgiving, the Auto Mercado, which is primarily an import grocery store, raises their prices. They had fresh cranberries yesterday for almost $8 a bag. I don't know what they're running in the States. Pumpkin is problematic too, because the first Thanksgiving we were here and I ran around and tried to get everything. And if you aren't there the day that the Auto Mercado or whoever puts out their stock, you're out of luck. 2 years ago was the pumpkin scarce here. So what I do is I buy it. I buy two. I put one aside, and the other one I use. So this year I've got my pumpkin. I've got my cranberry sauce. I've got everything. So I'm not worried about it. I'm going to stay home and cook. I don't know about the husband. He's talking about going to a beach community church Thanksgiving gathering. I am so not down with that. They're saying that churches are a super spreader event wherever. I haven't been back, and I'm not going back anytime soon. I don't need church that bad to risk getting any kind of. But the thing about all this, it is hard to get. You do have to, here in Costa Rica, you do have to search for those little things that you need. But the Auto Mercado is good because they have food from the British grocery stores, which is great. I love some of the products from Great Britain. They have German food, Italy. So you pay a little more, but sometimes it's worth it. I got some of the most wonderful Scottish shortbreads the other day that are filled with toffee and chocolate from there. Like I said, you just know that you have to pay a little extra to get the things that you like, but Thanksgiving is very doable here. A little word on sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are problematic here. The local sweet potatoes they call them camote. They're not real sweet potatoes. What they are is they're a sweet potato that in the States we call them margaritas, I think, or marguerite sweet potatoes. They are a sweet potato, but the fruit that they produce is about the same size, but much thinner. It's white fleshed. It tastes like a cross between a good old yam and a regular potato. It's very starchy, not very tasty, just kind of bland. That's what you can get here. I broke international law and muled back sweet potatoes last year and sprouted slips. And I have sweet potatoes, American sweet potatoes growing in my garden as a result that I dig up whenever I need them. But they also will sell canned yams, canned sweet potatoes, and sometimes the Auto Mercado has American sweet potatoes. The orange, full fleshed, very sweet, yummy sweet potatoes that I could just live on. I used to eat those a lot in the States. Here, it's a little more problematic. I have to plan for it. I have to make sure the planting goes well. And the other thing with the sweet potatoes here is every time we had a gardener, I've said, stay away from my raised vegetable bed, please. And they invariably break that. And what happens is they take one look at the American sweet potato vines and try to pull them up. And I end up pulling my hair out and screaming, usually yelling. And this time our gardener did not do that. I'm very happy about that. They always come back, but it's just the nuisance of having somebody trying to remove something they've never seen before from your garden. Right now, I have a ton of cactuses and things to plant. So, um, and then I've got to restart the vegetable garden with the sweet potatoes so that I can have sweet potatoes for Christmas. What does the weather and the temperature look like here? Well, we're in the transition time between wet season and dry season. Rainy season starts usually about sometime in April and continues on until about now. Um, you can get a lot of rain, get a little rain. This year was pretty horrific. We got rain almost every single day, which meant we didn't go to the beach much because if it's pouring down raining, you're just not going to go. Um, it's a little cooler during rainy season. You can get as low as in the 60s at night, which feels like freezing if you've been here when it's almost 100. The rain usually, most rainy seasons that I've been here, and granted, it's only been 3. It's been rain in the afternoon and the evenings, but in the mornings it was nice and clear and you could do all kinds of stuff. We've had an unusual rainy season this year. But once rainy season lifts, you won't see a drop of rain from like December until usually April again. You have a nice long rainy season. Then you have the rainy season where it rains some, and then you have the month of October, which is miserable here because it rains almost every single day the entire month of October. That's why you should go back to the States for 2 to 3 weeks in October. Worst weather, nothing to do except lay in the bed and read a whole pile of books. And the temps are usually in dry season, they're usually anywhere from 90 to 100, but it's a dry heat like you would have in Arizona. Costa, where I live, is like a desert. half the year. You have nice desert weather, blue skies, warmth, no humidity. But the other half of the year, you got Louisiana. Yes, I have air conditioning. You better believe it. I actually have it on right now. Every room has these little mini split air conditioners. That's how they do here. I don't know hardly anybody that has a house in the States. We turn it off. It's actually getting cold in here. And we just air condition wherever we are at the moment if we're hot, and it's not using hardly at all. How far on La Cruz? I'm not that far from La Cruz. I actually have driven through La Cruz a number of times. La Cruz is on the way up to oh, Pinas Blancas, where in normal times we have to leave the country every 90 days and we drive up to Pinas Blancas. We usually stop in La Cruz and get something to eat or drink. It's a good little break stopping point for us. And it's the last city really between Pinas Blancas and Liberia. So we've stopped there a number of times now. They had a bad earthquake there about a year ago, if I remember right. And it knocked down a few buildings, but it's a nice little place to visit. And if you head due west from La Cruz, there's some of the most beautiful and deserted beaches you've ever seen in your entire life. La Cruz is up not too far from the Nicaragua border. Very nice. Yeah, you do need AC here. I have so many ticos will tell me, "Oh, you don't need AC." But the truth of the matter is, if you have any kind of like for me with my asthma, I have to have it. There are times when I'm just struggle. And the switch over between rainy season to dry season and dry season to rainy season are the moments where I just have a lot of asthma because those are the moments when things are blooming with lots of pollen and all of that. Pronunciation of that city right. Okay. Penis Blancas, yes. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but that's how we all gringos here say it, Penis Blancas. But it probably is Pinas Blancas, probably, for all I know. I still speak like a gringo even though I've been here 3 years and can make myself pretty well known and can understand a lot of what's being said to me. I don't always speak it correctly. It's like Liberia. I hear so many people say Liberia, Liberia. Uh, about a million different pronunciations of that town. It's about an hour from here. It's where I go when I go shopping. It's where the Price Mart, which is the same thing as Costco is here. It has all American things that you can get, all American foods. If you're dying for King's Hawaiian bread, or you have to have something like Spam, they got it. So, yeah, it does. Penis blancas, white penis is what it sounds like to me. So that's really, you know, so we're going to have our Thanksgiving here. I saw on my Facebook page 2 years ago, I had the crew putting in my hot tub and cooked turkey for everybody, which they'd not have had American Thanksgiving before. Yeah. Yeah. If she lives near La Cruz, your grandmother is that's not too far from here. It's maybe hour and a half north, right before you get to the border. Okay, you guys, I got to go make lunch. My husband is showing up back from church. I'm not going. He can go all he wants, but I am not going. I'm spraying him down with Lysol coming in. Y'all have a great Sunday, and I'll talk to you later. Did you notice I didn't speak about Miss Problematic at all today? I'm kind of over her. I just let her be canceled. Love to all of you guys. Yeah, most definitely.